My name is Dr. Felix Effah. Welcome to my channel. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome you on this journey of mine. But before that, let me introduce myself so you know who is the person behind this channel. I was born to Ghanaian parents, but I grew up in Italy, in a small town called Pordenone. Now, I would go ahead and do middle school and also go to a scientific high school because even since childhood, I knew I wanted to be a scientist, but what exactly I didn't know, but I was leaning more towards physics. However, in the final year of scientific high school, I had changed my mind because I wanted to go and study medical science. So what would make me change my mind from going to study physics to going to study medical science? Well, during my third to fourth year, something would happen that would change the trajectory of my academic career. My mom would get pregnant before our last brother would be born, Christian. My mom got pregnant, and before that we were just two boys. So when my mom got pregnant, it was a girl, and we were very, very happy, including my dad. But then, even though my mom was going for checkups, one day something tragic would happen. She would go for checkup and she would never come back again. She was transferred to the capital city of our region, Trieste, because she was having an ectopic pregnancy. And I would think, how on earth is this even possible in 2020, in 2011 at that time, when medical advancement had been there? Like, she was going for checkups and everything, yet still they didn't see that she was having an ectopic pregnancy. And so this will leave me wondering a lot, and I wanted to understand, how is this even possible? Why is it that Black women are more susceptible to these sort of like issues, and why is it that a Black woman is more likely to die during child delivery compared to other ethnic groups? And so I went ahead and applied for university in England because I wanted to do my university in a country where English was the official language, so that then opportunities may be wider and broader for me to explore the world. So I did all my higher education in England. Now, the big thing for me is that I had the opportunity to do my PhD funded by the UK Health Security Agency, which is a government agency. Now, this means that I would get the opportunity to study in a lot of universities, world-renowned universities under world-renowned scientists and doctors. For example, Cambridge University for summer schools, for example, Imperial College for conferences, and even having mentors at Imperial College, and most importantly, even at the University of New York, where I spent some time as an intern with Professor Terry Gordon, which now he is retired. But because of the opportunity I had with the UK Health Security Agency, it opened doors for me to study at some of the best universities in the world. Now, during my PhD, I also realized that I was the only Black person in a lot of spaces. And so I thought about writing a book that would encourage and that would motivate young Black kids who would feel like they don't belong in spaces like higher education, PhDs, or being engineers, being the only Black engineer being the only Black engineer in rooms. So I wrote this book called Overcoming, and it is available on Amazon, it's available on Apple Books, it's available on Kindle. It's an amazing book. So far, I released it in 2023, and it sold about 300 copies, which is not bad at all. And so I hope that any Black kid or any kid at all who wants to be motivated can read this book. The title is Overcoming, and the subtitle is In a World of Limitless Opportunities, Failure is Just an Option, the Choice is Yours. I'll tell you a little bit about what I've done during my higher education in terms of research. I researched a lot into autism and how autism can affect the brain, right? So I looked into the gut-brain axis and how that gut-brain axis may interfere with neurodevelopmental disorders such as autism and speech delays and stuff like that. Apart from that, I've also done research looking into the toxic effects of e-cigarettes and how that affect the human lungs. I'm also bioengineer, so I engineer stem cells into micro tissues that represent the human lungs. Apart from that, I've also done research into how aging affects the oxytocin receptors and myopia receptors and how these receptors play a huge role in behavior impairment. And so I have a robust research background, but most importantly, recently I came across a post that was basically talking about how black women and black men are more susceptible to cardiovascular diseases. And I was wondering, what is the reason why we are susceptible? And that also reminded me of the fact that my mother almost died of an ectopic pregnancy. And so that struck my curiosity. And since then, I've been doing videos on TikTok trying to shed light on some of the misconception about black people and some of the miseducation about black people, and enlightening them about our health and our physiology and how that actually means if they go to the hospital and they are being told that their BMI is high, sometimes because we are black and we have high dense muscles, we may actually have BMI that is higher than the normal, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are unhealthy. I think that a better approach would be waist to hip ratio. So I'm basically teaching this community on TikTok about these health disparities and how they have to take their health into their hands, and also teaching them some of the root causes of issues like diabetes, hypertension, and the rest. So this channel is going to be talking about some of the diseases that afflict the black community and how to go about it. Sometimes we even lack vitamin D deficiencies. We even lack certain vitamins. And I want the black community living in the Western countries to understand that for anyone who is lacking vitamin D, especially when you're melanated, you are going to have a lot of cardiovascular issues because vitamin D is a hormone and not a vitamin. And so with education like this, I hope with this channel, people are going to be enlightened, people are going to take their health into their hands, and people are going to make better choices when it comes to diet, when it comes to lifestyle, and when it comes to their health all around. And welcome. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Now let's explore together.